When I was a kid, I preferred Disney over Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. And let me just say, I had a ball over on Disney Channel with Good Luck Charlie, Phineas and Ferb, and Ant Farm. But one show that a lot of kids loved and watched was a show I never really watched and barely saw. And that show is Hannah Montana. Hey guys, it's Alexandria X and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about, of course, Hannah Montana, the intro, the title, the thumbnail. It's all correlation. Now, when I was a kid, I saw maybe like 5 episodes of Hannah Montana, but I never really cared for the show for whatever reason. Of course, in the late 2000s and early 2010s, Hannah Montana was everywhere and you couldn't escape the show. There were pencils, book bags, comforters, shirts with Hannah Montana stuff, but for some odd reason, I barely watched the show. So today, I'm going to be watching the first episode of Hannah Montana and looking at it from my adult eyes and my 5-year-old eyes, to see if I actually would have enjoyed the show and would have actually kept up with it more consistently. Now, Hannah Montana came out in 2006, I believe. Let me just make sure I have that right for you guys. Yes, the first episode was on March 24th, 2026. And guys, I didn't know that Hannah Montana was actually being like revived or rebooted until like a couple days ago. Even before I started planning this video, I didn't even know that the 20-year anniversary for Hannah Montana was coming about. So I am so sorry. So yeah, this is like a perfect time to actually make this video. March 24th, 2006. I was actually 1.5. I wasn't even 2 years old yet. But still, the show ended in like 2011. So that was still enough time for me to watch the show. And then on January 16th, 2011, I was actually 6 years old. So I had enough time to get love for the show, watch the show, and enjoy it. But I just didn't. But enough with all that jibber jabber, and let's get into the first episode. The episode begins with one of Hannah Montana's songs, and it's heard that she is sold out in Los Angeles. She's in her living room getting her dress fitting. Then a call comes through and it's her best friend, Lily. They have a countdown for when she's about to make her way into the household. This implies that Miley's best friend doesn't know about the double life she's living. When Lily enters, she's yelling at the top of her lungs and says that she got 2 tickets to see Hannah Montana. Problem is, Miley is Hannah Montana. The theme song is so fire and iconic. Even if you barely watch the show, don't necessarily know the show, or don't remember anything about the show, I feel like the one thing you should remember about this show or know is the catchy theme song. This theme song is so fire, it's fun, and it obviously explains the premise of the show. But all in all, 10 out of 10 theme song. After the theme song, we cut to the school day, and Lily is still upset about Miley not wanting to see Hannah Montana. Miley then has an encounter with Johnny, a boy she's been crushing on for a while, and she's kind of awkward in the situation. Lily pumps her up to tell her to go sit at the table Johnny is sitting at, and as the girls are about to sit down at that table, the mean girls, Amber and Ashley, take a spot where they're going to be at. Miley and Lily are at another table and they're still talking about these tickets. Miley just says that she just doesn't like Hannah Montana, and Lily is dumbfounded by this news. We see one of their other friends, Oliver, comes into the cafeteria, and Lily mentions that she has an extra ticket to Hannah Montana. Oliver says very loudly that Lily has an extra ticket, and the other kids hear that and they attack them. Back at home, Miley is tore up from the school day, and her dad wants to know what happened, but Miley just says Hannah Montana. This leads her dad, Robbie, to ask if the kids found out about Miley, but Miley clears the air and says that it was just about an extra ticket Lily had. She mentions how if the kids knew that she was Hannah Montana, they wouldn't treat her the same. Robbie suggests that she should just tell Lily, but with the way Lily acts about Hannah Montana, Miley just feels it's best not to say anything. This is life. After the show, Miley goes to clean up and Lily is sneaking into her dressing room. And I have to say, why didn't Miley hear all that noise coming from outside of the bathroom? Like, Lily is literally like screaming at the top of her lungs at Oliver, yelling like, whoa, whoa. And then she knocks over a vase. So I don't know why Miley couldn't hear it from outside that door, because I definitely would have heard all of that if that was me. But anyways, Miley comes from the bathroom and Lily screams, Hannah Montana, and Miley threatens to call security. But Miley during this time is trying everything in her power to get Lily out of the room. Oliver finally makes his way up and Miley gives him a towel to go away. Lily is still stalling because she wants something from Hannah Montana. Miley gives her a scarf and is about to give her an autographed photo. Lily notices the bracelet she has on and she says that she has one just like that, and then she realizes that Hannah Montana is Miley Stewart, her best friend. After the commercial break, the girls are just talking it over, and Miley admits the reason she didn't want to tell her was because she didn't know how this would affect their friendship, but Lily lets her know that it wouldn't change anything. Miley wants to show Lily something to make up for the fact that she never told her about her star identity. So we transition to the next scene in Miley's closet, but Miley shows more than just her closet. This is her closet and Hannah Montana's closet, and I must say, every girl most likely wanted this closet and wardrobe. Hey, I want that closet and that wardrobe. Well, maybe not that exact wardrobe, but like a full 2000s wardrobe. Oh yeah, I definitely do. Anyway, Lily brings up that they have to tell the mean girls, and Miley explains that she doesn't want anyone knowing that she's Hannah Montana because kids would not treat her the same. Lily seems to just not get this, but Lily then calls Miley Hannah, and Miley feels more vindicated about what she thought about earlier with Lily finding out. Downstairs, Robbie and Jackson are teasing her, but Miley genuinely is hurt by what had just went down upstairs. But Robbie just lets her know to just give Lily some time. Next scene, Jackson is doing a fitting because he needed somebody. This is a B plot that I just chose not to discuss throughout this video. But anyways, then Lily's skateboard comes into the room and Robbie gives the girls some time to talk it out. All in all, the girls come to a resolution and hug it out. At the end of the episode, the mean girls are talking about the concert and Oliver brags about the towel, but the girls don't buy it until Miley pulls out the scarf that she gave to Lily. They give it to the mean girls, but then they yell out that the mean girls have the scarf. End of episode.
It's okay! None of my blood got on the towel!
Okay, so let me just say, this episode was a really good pilot episode, I will say. I just have my one critique is that I don't know if they asked Emily Osment to do this or if it was like she just was getting used to acting. I don't know, but why is she yelling? Like, in every single scene, this girl is yelling at the top of her lungs. And in that scene when it was like, when Oliver said, you have an extra ticket for Hannah Montana? Oliver was loud, but not that loud. But literally a couple of moments prior, when they were talking about Johnny, the guy that Miley has a crush on, Lily was being all loud. I'm like, girl, I'm shocked that Johnny over there can't even hear, because Lily was being loud. But then the moment Oliver kind of said something kind of loud, everybody heard that. But Lily has been loud this whole time. Like, I don't know if that was her character, because like I said, I might need to get into the world of Hannah Montana. I probably need to start watching it just to boost some kind of nostalgia for it. But that's my thing. But also with Miley, this is something I say. I think this is actually very humble of her, because she's 13 years old, 13 or 14 at this time in the show, on the first episode. And she doesn't want other kids treating her differently because she's famous or because she has star power. You know, she doesn't want these kids treating her any differently. She wants to be treated regular. She wants to be treated normal. She doesn't want to be treated as if she has millions of fans around the world. And honestly, I love that and I think that most people who are in the public eye want to be treated as normal. So I think that's also why Miley also, for the Hannah Montana character, that's why her name is changed from Hannah Montana. She wears the wig, she wears the shades, she wears these clothes just to kind of hide the main identity. And then she doesn't really sing around her friends or anything like that because she wants to remain Miley Stewart in her hometown, in her school, with her friends. But Hannah Montana and Miley Stewart are two different people, and she wants people to not mix that up. And honestly, I think that's great for a child to really just have that kind of mindset. I love everything about that. So 10 out of 10 for that. Like I said, but the first episode, this is a really good pilot to just kick off a lot of things. Everybody did really good, like I said, except for the yelling Now, from a 21-year-old perspective, watching a show from a nostalgia lens, I definitely will probably say that even now, like as an adult, watching Hannah Montana probably will not be on the top list for me. Like when I did back in my Kicking It video, make sure y'all watch my Kicking It video. But with the Kicking It video, I feel like I could actually sit down and watch Kicking It. Even as a child, when I didn't really like karate because the show was for boys, now as an adult, I actually wouldn't mind throwing on some Kicking It because that show is just great. But with Hannah Montana, I still can't actually see myself throwing on some Hannah Montana. Like, woo, I'm getting a wave of nostalgia. Let me throw on that Hannah Montana. Like, no, I just can't see myself doing that. Like, not saying that it's a bad show. In the first episode, the pilot episode didn't give me a good impression because it definitely did. I just personally don't think that I would just throw it on. Even if it was for the sake of nostalgia, I just want it. Now, from a younger lens, for me, like I said, the show came out when I was only 1.5 years old. So, but it ended when I was 6. You know, the show lasted for 5 years. So I still probably I definitely did have some developmental time to watch the show. And I will say, from a lens from like 5-year-old me, 6-year-old me, I probably would want to tune in to Hannah Montana more often because I loved like singing shows. Not a lot of singing shows, but just like girly stuff, and I really did enjoy. And Hannah Montana is such a girly show. Like, it's so girly. Like, the show, like, just looking at it, especially when we saw that closet, y'all, the closet, that is the girliest of the girly. It just gave just a wave of just 2000s girly nostalgia. And I just love in the show that it just brings me back to a simpler time when teenagers, preteens had a phase, because that's what Hannah Montana was. She was for the preteen girls. Like, we don't have that in today's culture no more. It's like once you turn like 12, you're into like adult stuff, and I definitely don't think that should be not adult stuff, but there's nothing for the preteens or the teenagers. Like, you know, that there was Justin Bieber, Cody Simpson, like mindless behavior. Like, we had that, but now it's like, okay, we're like listening to Coco Melon, and the next thing you know, we're out here with all these other artists out here, when I definitely do think there should be a middle or a separation between, and then you have an audience that grows up with you. So Hannah Montana was definitely for the preteens, definitely for girls ages like 10 to 13, maybe 14. But yeah, like, from a 6-year-old me, I definitely probably would want to watch the show more consistently had it came on the television guide more often and the reruns. But yeah, y'all, I mean, it was a good first episode, I'll admit. Now, probably in another video, I'm probably going to be watching the last episode of Hannah Montana, just so I can get like a fresh view from it, since I have no bias on the show, since, like I said, I only watched maybe like 5 episodes as a kid, so I can't really tell you anything that happened in the show, what went down. But the most iconic thing about this show is the theme song. Like, if I don't remember nothing else about the show, the theme song is so fire, y'all. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, what did you think? Did you watch Hannah Montana a lot as a kid? Did you barely watch it? Did you not care for the show? Let me know your thoughts down below. And like, comment, share, and subscribe. Especially subscribe. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.